Remember that assignment in grade school? You know the one. When I grow up, I want to be blank. As a little girl in Jacksonville Beach, Florida, Nicole Kanoy had big dreams and aspirations. And when I say big, I mean literally big.
I wanted to be a bear trainer. I was really lucky to, when I was about 4 years old, I lost a dog that I had named Skeeter. And my parents took me to a rescue animal park, and I picked out a wolf pup that I got when I was 4. And my dad worked at a reptile farm, and so we always had snakes. And so when he was tilling the garden, I was going behind and catching all the snakes and making National Geographic shows out of caterpillars and everything I could do. So the name of the nonprofit is Wildlife Critters Circle of Life. I am well aware of the circle and how animals were made and which ones are the prey and which ones are the predator. And it's amazing that animals have no judgment. And so for children and adults and different people make mistakes, but when they come in front of an animal, the animal doesn't see any mistakes. They see perfection. And when somebody reaches out their hand and they feel loved, then it's a way to bring people and animals together. And I've known that was my purpose since I was about 16 years old.
And watching her interact with the animals, one could say with 100% certainty that Nicole indeed chose the right career path. Her heart is full, and given the variety of animals on the farm, you also quickly realize she has a hard time saying no.
I normally do native and exotics, but I end up taking in domestic and farm animals just because it's really hard to say no when they're in certain situations. We fix everything on the farm, but I actually have a breeding pair of goats because it came from a suicide problem, and the mom that brought them to me said, you know, this is what my daughter did and I want her legacy to move on. If I donate these to you, will you please keep them as husband and wife? And these are some goats and I love them. It's Dozer and Pandora. And I was like, of course I will. So now we have baby goats, which it helps bring in feed for the other animals. So I love it. I welcome every challenge that comes to me, and we have a big variety: camels and donkeys and hedgehogs and snakes and tortoises and all kinds of things.
But like so many animal rescue centers that provide therapy for animals and humans, funding is always a challenge. One way in which Nicole has been able to support both farm and family is through the film and TV industry. Her animal trainer credit's impressive and includes some pretty big productions: the Aflac Duck commercials, Game of Thrones, Vampire Diaries, the list goes on.
My whole purpose of rescuing these animals is to let them feel loved and needed, and now these animals that can't be released get to be movie stars. And the training that goes into it is all positive training. It's all fun for them. We use treats and sounds and natural behaviors and nothing negative, and they love it. And if they don't like it, then they don't do it. But what that's allowed is the income that the animals bring in. So the way the movie industry works for an animal wrangler is the animals get a portion and the trainer gets a portion. So I've been able to help their lifestyle and building up a facility for them that has blessed all of us.
Unfortunately for Nicole, the film and TV industry doesn't fall under the essential business category. Neither do weddings, birthday parties, or educational programs. COVID-19 shut them all down, meaning Nicole's income is also shut down indefinitely. And with no income, she's had to rely on donations to help keep the nonprofit running. That includes feeding and taking care of all 170 animals.
Anything that we do with the animals that bring in to feed them and care for them, we've lost. Every day I'm like, okay, there is a reason that I was put in charge of this and I'm gonna figure it out. It's scary and I try to have no fear. A lot of being an exotic animal trainer is, not having fear in anything that we do, and trusting your knowledge, what you know, and who you are. And I know that I was put in charge of these animals for a reason, and I'm going to continue doing whatever I can to provide a home for them and food. And it's scary. But I know it's going to work. I know I'll figure it out. I've got a lot of volunteers and my children, and it takes a zoo to run the zoo, and we all have to be dedicated 100% of the time.
For the Farm Monitor, I'm Ray DeLessio.